try it again. Okay.
That's facts.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to episode 1, the one where they all start a podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today. If this is your first time, which it would be, then I just want to say thank you for taking the time to tune in. We're just going to start out by letting you guys know who we are. My name's Lucky. I'm a full-time streamer on Twitch, and I just recently moved to this awesome state, which I've been loving it, here in Indiana. And I'm just going to pass it on over to my right here.
What's up, guys? Sorry about the audio issue. I got it figured out now. My name's Officer Stealth. You can call me Stealth, whatever. Call me Chris. I'm also a partner, but I'm partner on Facebook. And, yeah, happy to be here. Born and raised in Indiana, pretty much.
For sure. We actually live like 2 minutes from each other back in home, so... It's kind of funny how we grew up in the same place and we literally just like maybe 1 or 2 years ago met each other.
I was going to say, I was like, you guys haven't actually known each other that long.
I mean,
right?
I saw him a couple times in like school, but other than that, I didn't really like.
Wait. So, like, think about, like, really think about it. How long has it been since you met him?
Yeah.
What? Maybe 2? Maybe 1.5, 2 years ago.
Yeah, probably 2 years.
That means that I've known him almost as long as you have. Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
That's weird, right?
That's true, because I think we started playing. I think we knew each other before I met you, right? Because like the first time you tuned in,
it was around the same time.
It was around the same time.
Yeah, because we did play together a little bit before you like introduced him or brought him over.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's
interesting.
About right.
That's actually
really
pretty
weird,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, for right now, a lot of the people that are going to be coming in, if you are watching this live and you're not listening to it on either Spotify or watching it on YouTube, you guys are already going to know who we are. So there's a possibility that while we're doing this, you might hear a story you've already heard before, or you might be like, well, they're going over a lot of stuff that we already know about. But just bear with us, because as the episodes keep rolling out, we will be covering like a lot of new content and doing a lot of stuff that we haven't done on our streams. So make sure you guys are hitting us up on social media and stuff, which we'll have in the description, if you guys have topics that you'd like to hear us like talk about and everything. So yeah, honestly, I guess the first big thing is like, you know, why are we starting a podcast? You know,
Why are we starting a podcast? This is a bad idea.
Well,
I mean, so much time commitment and. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like we don't already have so many things to do in the day. Let's add another one, you know?
For sure, me too.
We just lay around all day, do nothing.
Yeah.
Well, not me, but maybe you guys. I don't know what you guys do when I'm gone, but.
Wow.
You know, a lot of people
throwing us under the bus.
You know, it's funny how many people think that like, oh, you're like, you stream full time.
Oh, you play video games for a living.
Yeah, that must be so easy, right?
Yeah.
So like, what do you like? You're not even doing it like full time yet,
Oh, no.
but you're still putting in a lot of hours, right? So for you, like what's like one day, like how hard is it to manage everything you got to do?
Oh, it's so hard. You got to think about your TikToks you post every day, right? And then you go on live and you're doing all the other work. What are you doing?
I'm good.
You got to put in a lot of work, and then you have to think about your actual work, which you do to pay the bills, right? You're doing this thing on the side until you can actually do it a full time.
Yeah.
So you still got to put in work, or even more work than the full-time people, because they have people they reach out to, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So like, what about like for you when you decided to make the jump, which actually wasn't really that long ago, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit over a year when I decided to pursue this thing full time. You know, just left I had a cush job too. Like, I mean, obviously it was dangerous, but I had benefits, retirement plan, good pay, pension, everything, you know?
Nobody wants any of that.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, you know?
It was just too comfortable for me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a risk taker, and I like going out there, and I thought pursuing my passion. I never really thought about it, but like, I guess it's different now. A lot of kids these days, especially with COVID, are like playing games, right? They're gaming, stuff like that. But back in the day,
are there kids that don't play games? Like,
or exactly, it's like normalized, right? But back in the day, you think it was probably less common, right?
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't own a game system, which was like weird to me because I've owned like almost every game system, because that was always the thing I liked doing when I was growing up. So when people would be like, "Oh, I don't have like a game system, or I don't play games," that was really weird for me, because I was just like, "What do you do for fun?"
Exactly.
I mean, I didn't start gaming until I was like 14 or 15. That's
that
when I got my
explains
first
a
Xbox.
lot.
The game
That
sense,
explains
the
a
game
lot.
sense.
Yeah,
But I mean, like I was
Really?
always
Give
outside.
it a few
yeah.
years.
So like, where we went to school, we didn't have a football team, right? So basketball is like our main thing, and basketball is like my life, right? I had a hoop outside, so every time I come home from school, outside shooting.
So like you would come home from
Until
school
night.
and then you'd just like play basketball outside for a while
Yeah.
before until like dinner or something.
Yeah.
Like would you like have friends like come over and like hang out and everybody?
Oh yeah, we
shoot-
would always have people from, like the school come over after school, play basketball. Heck, even my neighbor, he was actually older than me, and he would come shoot with me. So
No, that's
I mean,
that's actually really cool. It's just like it's just different
It's
because
different.
like for me, like my group of friends weren't like, yo, let's go play basketball after school. It'd be
right.
like, yo, like let's go home and play games.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot different. But so like, what do you? So like, tell everybody like kind of like what you do right now for work.
Okay, so right now I work front desk at a gym. So I work night shift, well, evening shift from 4 to 9 now. And I just check people in,
Oh, I was
tell
gonna
people
ask,
about
I was-
memberships
like
and
he's getting
everything like
home
that.
late.
Yeah, so we actually Monday we actually started opening till 9.
Oh, that's why you're
Yeah.
getting home late.
I
Okay.
thought he had like
Yeah.
a friend that he was like hanging out
Hanging
with.
out with
you know what I mean?
Netflix and
No.
Hello?
I'm actually only scheduled till 8, but I need the extra hours, so I'm staying over.
Oh, so you just get like that optional overtime kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's not, yeah.
Yeah. So you're working out in the morning your muscles and your body, and then later on you're working out your brain. That's like a full.
No, I'm not learning anything. I'm
he hates learning.
Are
So
you, are you
what-
not stimulated at work?
no.
Oh,
I'm just telling people. I give people tours, sign people up, check people in.
I
If
got
they
you.
buy something, check them
Uh-huh.
out.
Yeah, it's like.
We've actually been hella busy the past few days.
But then it gets into like a repetitive thing. Like I know at least like for me, whenever at my like last job, it just you get into like an automated, which is kind of cool for your previous job because
Mm.
it wasn't anything like that. You weren't just like on autopilot, right? Like you got different stuff to do. Like
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For
Did
sure.
you always want to be a cop, like in high school?
No, not at all.
No. So what did you want to do? You don't even know, do you?
In high school, not really. I just knew I wanted to go to IU.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like
how long did you go to college for?
4 years.
4 years.
Well, actually 5 because I started my master's, but I didn't finish it because so my plan was when I decided to be a cop, I was gonna go through my bachelor's, and then join a police department, and then finish my master's while I was doing that as well, and then apply to join federal and like be part of FBI or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my long-term goal.
Oh, I heard like if you, isn't it something like if you decide to join the FBI, like the moment you make the decision that you want to join and you like sign up, it's like minimum 6 years before you get in or something.
No.
I thought it was like a long wait for like Quantico or whatever for the academy for FBI.
No. They're actually hiring a lot right now. Every like political year, or like presidential election year, they like hire a ton, and so it always came up on my emails because I'd like shown interest or whatever and looked at the site and they would ping me like, hey, there's a special agent job opening, blah blah blah. But you'll apply.
That sounds ridiculous. Like 007 wanted.
Right? Yeah. It's actually kind of like that. But you apply just like any other job, and then it's usually like 6 months of interviewing. Like it takes a while, and then you go and do the training, and it's like it could be like 16 or more weeks in Quantico, and then you're
It's
going
supposed to
on
be
the
pretty tough, right?
you're going on the field with. This is what I believe because I think it's really similar to like how cops get hired. Then they have like their field agent that's supervising them, like basically shadowing them, making sure they're doing right. And then once they graduate from that, they're on their own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Say
but it's not 6 years. It's definitely not.
I don't know if you guys know this, but after 2 years in college, which I went to the DNR, which is also a form of police enforcement, law enforcement, right? So
Well, what does it
did you
stand
guys
for?
know that?
Yeah. What does it stand for?
Department of Natural Resources.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's like a step up from police officer. They have more authority, right? They do, right?
No, it's just its own branch. Like they have different jurisdictions.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
They
it's
don't-
like the guard versus like police officers. Like they would have like different like jurisdiction type thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, so you have your state police, you have your local city police, like metropolitan, and then you have your county sheriff's departments, and then you have your DNR, which does like
It's
the water and like the wildlife.
right.
I don't necessarily know. Like, I think they have the same like arrest powers.
They do, yeah.
But they have, yeah.
I just imagine some guy gets arrested. He's like, I got arrested by the guy that protects the deer all day.
Yeah. It's funny.
But yeah, so you were talking about the interview process being long, right? So I mean, I passed a written test. I passed a physical test, and then we go into the interview process, which it was lasting forever. Polygraph test, pre-polygraph questions, background checks.
They're saying we're a little quiet, but I was just checking that. They're saying we're a little quiet, but you guys.
I see.
If we are a little quiet, don't worry. We won't be like messing with stuff and getting it like kind of perfected over the course of time. There's a lot of equipment. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna interrupt story time real quick. If you guys can look at this,
I'm gonna go take a look at it while you're talking. Just make sure.
This is actually.
OG said that it sounds like me and Lucky got turned down.
Yeah, they said that you're significantly louder than us.
That's weird because we're both the same level.
Yeah, unless
Which
is
is
there
really
another
weird.
thing up here? Is there another thing up here at all? That's like, this is for sure mine, right? Yeah, this is.
I mean, I can increase your gain a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe that's it.
No, I mean it's.
It's the same?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I can increase yours a little bit, and then Gary's a little bit too. How about that?
So, actually, that sounds way better.
How is that?
Do I sound better too? I think I do.
Yeah, you're probably right. I need to like I keep turning when I'm talking. To,
Yeah,
like,
when
look at
I'm
you guys.
talking, I'm like talking into it.
Yeah,
So
I need
that's probably all
to. Yeah,
it
that's
is.
what I need to do. Anyways, if you guys can see right here, is like a ridiculous amount of equipment, and thankfully, Stealth happens to have a friend who came over, and it was like he was making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He just like sat down and was like 1, 2, 3, adjusting, talking, and he's done. And it was really cool. And we were all like, thank God we had somebody, because we did not know how to like. It's weird because throughout the course of streaming, you encounter so many problems, right? Like with things not working or things breaking. But over the course of time, I've learned a lot of stuff, but I still do not know anything about these. Like these are like
Huge
old
mixers.
school mixers.
Yeah.
Like I cannot.
Yeah, they're confusing. Analog.
Didn't you have one before the Go XLR?
We both have the same one. It looks like this was smaller.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like the same one, right?
I think we both probably bought it thinking like this was gonna be the only option for audio for 2 PC
Yep.
setup, and we couldn't figure it out. Right? Like I bought everything for it, and I never got it to work.
Yeah, it's exactly
And then
what
I met you, and at the time I had 2 computers, but I was still streaming on just one and gaming on one because I didn't know how to do the audio. And then you're like, "Hey, you got to get this thing. It's called the Go XLR." I think I bought it the next day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
did.
like a
You did.
$400
Absolutely, I remember. You're like,
Yeah,
you're like, wait, there's a thing that will make me not have to do this, and you just bought it.
I just bought it. I was like, "That's crazy." Best purchase.
Yeah, I'm thankful to start on the Go XLR, not have to use one of those. But
No, the hands down, the 2 best things for streaming that I have ever bought that have made my life better have been the Stream Deck and the Go XLR.
True.
Like, there's days where they were like rolling out updates for the Stream Deck and like it would stop working for me, and when it's not working, it like completely messes up the flow of my stream. Like I can't like I have to like move over to the other computer to like change my scenes. I have to like do that all manually. I'm manually adjusting like sources and stuff. It's a pain.
I mean, I use my phone. I mean, a lot of people do use their phone right now too.
It's free, right?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to use too. I mean, it's just like
the app,
Stream
right?
Deck. Yeah,
It's like $1, right?
it might be free.
I think it's free.
I think it's free.
Oh, I thought it was like
Maybe
$1
it
or
was
something.
$1. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody can fact check us.
Yeah, these mics are really good. I think, in my opinion, anyways, I think if you are starting out streaming, if you have really good audio and like subpar video, I think you can still make it.
Oh,
like
for
I think
sure.
you can do good. But if it's reversed, you're screwed. Like if you have crystal clear video, but your audio is trash when somebody comes into your stream, I think they just leave.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with that. I think audio is definitely way more important than video for sure.
Cool.
So how much are these mics?
The $399
$399.
retail.
So mine was 100, and it sounds really good too.
Yeah, yours isn't bad. Yours isn't bad. Like I definitely think that it's like a lower return of investment, like
Right.
when you like get up there. But
At a certain point, yeah.
but these like your mic
These are
definitely
really nice,
doesn't
yeah.
sound like this, and like they're just different. They're good. But I did see a thing. His name's Kick Tripod on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He used to work for TC Helicon. They're the company that makes the Go XLR.
Right.
And he actually advises people not to use the Shure SM7B for streaming, and he has like a whole video on it. We'll have to check it out. There's a different mic that he suggests. It's like maybe $200 to $300. It's cheaper, and he thinks it's better for live streaming. But being a podcast, this is going to be great because
for sure.
Well, that's interesting because like, why would a microphone be better for live streaming versus any other thing? Because the utility factor for the mics should be the same. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's interesting.
No, I agree. Yeah, I don't know.
Like what? Like, yeah.
We'll definitely have to check out the video.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But Gary. Okay, so Gary was actually talking about something right before we went live, and it was a it was a good thing to bring up.
I was gonna bring it up in the podcast anyway, but
yeah, I think it's because you said like, hey, we could talk about this. And I was
yeah,
like, actually,
yeah,
it's a good
for
one.
sure.
So hopefully wherever you're at, you guys are starting to get like the vaccines. They're rolling out. You guys are getting it's like 2 shots, right?
Yep.
Well,
it's like 2 weeks apart.
There's
2 doses.
There's like 3 different types of vaccines. There's like the Johnson Johnson, which is a 2-in-1, so you only have to go in once. The other 2 brands are a 2-part. So you go in,
Moderna,
wait 2 weeks, and the other.
And then Pfizer or something.
Oh yeah,
Pfizer.
Pfizer, yeah,
Pfizer,
Pfizer,
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so you go, you get your vaccine, and then something that we were actually talking about right before we went live, and I don't want this to sound like negative or whatever, but Stealth had a thing he had to go to, and then Gary's like, "Hey, did you wear your mask whenever you went?"
Because yesterday Indiana released the mask mandate.
Exactly. So
in
like
some counties.
In some counties, the mask mandate has been like lifted, so you're not required to like wear a mask. I think if you've been vaccinated, right, or at all.
At all.
Okay, so you're not required now to wear a mask anymore. And I asked him, well, are you still going to wear a mask? And he's like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to. And I was like, oh, well, I would just assume that you're still going to wear a mask right now to like be safe. And we were kind of getting into a discussion about like, if you get vaccinated, like like you can still get other people sick, or you can still get sick. And like,
right.
He wasn't really like, I guess technically neither of us is actually sure because we didn't.
Nobody's really sure.
Yeah, we didn't actually look it up. We can actually check like.
Yeah. So like.
So what do you think about it?
Okay, I think anyone can be a carrier of any virus or like illness, whatever. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Lucky on that one. That even though you're vaccinated, you can still have the virus.
Mm-hmm.
It could like live in you. It just won't affect you. Like your body's built that immunity, so it won't hurt you. But like I think you still technically can pass it on to other people.
See, that's what I believe. Like obviously, you knew you could still get sick even if you're vaccinated,
mm-hmm.
right? Like you knew that, and
yeah.
I thought you did. And that wasn't really the the question is kind of like what you said. It was more like whether or not you can get other people sick, right?
Right.
It's like if you catch it but you don't get sick, but then you end up giving it to 5 people, then I think it's still better to wear a mask, even if like your state isn't telling you you have to. I still think it's better to do it, right? Like, or I mean,
yeah, I mean, I think it's still early. The vaccine just came out for everyone over 16 a few days ago.
Yesterday, I remember.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah,
on the 31st.
I got a text.
I think it was on the 31st.
Oh, I got a text though.
Yeah.
Late, so yeah.
Because I scheduled on the 31st, and I'm getting my vaccine, the first round, on the 20th. And I think once more people get it, then I think it'll be okay. Like, yeah.
It says the vaccines are very effective at preventing it right now, but it says that it says that they're not 100%. But
So
I was trying to see what the chances of you like still carrying it and stuff. That's kind of like what I was looking for, but
it's still like way early. Like
it is. It is. I know there will be a time, well, at least I'm hoping, where we're no longer going to have to wear a mask. But there's already a third strand of the virus that isn't covered by the vaccine that just came out. So it's like, are we just going to keep getting vaccines? Because that's what happens. They mutate, right? So
especially with this disease. It's something SARS, and it's like known to be like most adaptive or something like that.
It's actually really scary. Like, what's one of the... Like for you guys, like like you think back like right before like the lockdown and everything before COVID, like what's one of the things that you like really miss, or like one of the pre-COVID just functions of society that you kind of like miss?
Video game. Oh wait,
We didn't really. I
kidding.
mean,
amusement parks for me.
amusement parks.
Going
See,
to
events
like
for me.
events.
It's definitely
traveling.
basketball pickup games for me.
Oh, see, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like it's just stuff that like has just gone away and we've gotten
Yeah.
so used to it. But like the last event I went to was over a year ago now,
Yeah.
which is weird because for years I went to like every single one.
When you guys moved here, you said you haven't eaten out in like a year.
Yeah,
That's
That was
crazy.
shocking to me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, what?
yeah. If you guys for everybody listening in New Mexico, we have like a lot of reservations, and there's a really big issue with just they aren't practicing the distancing, right? And so the numbers in New Mexico were really bad for like our daily new cases, really bad. And so the governor completely locked down New Mexico and said that there would be no eating in restaurants, there would be no going out, all like businesses were required to some businesses weren't even allowed to allow people in the building. They had to use
Yeah, that's crazy.
only drive-through services, and if they didn't have drive-through services they couldn't be open. And it was zero eating in restaurants and stuff. And so like Chernobyl and I had not been in a restaurant like sitting down eating since so we got here in January, right? And
Yep.
then we had not eaten in a restaurant since April.
That's insane.
So it was about 9 months of us like just not not even like eating in a restaurant. So we'd go pick up food and bring it back. And so you guys were like, oh yeah, like let's just that first day, what you're like, oh let's all go grab breakfast. Or like
you guys
inside.
are like, what?
Yeah,
I think we went to Cracker Barrel.
yeah. We went to Cracker Barrel. We got you got like French toast.
Yo.
They messed up my chicken. And,
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, you just ordered fried chicken, but
I don't want to talk about it. So it was just it was mind blowing to me that you're like, and I think you'd been able to eat in restaurants here for a while.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I don't think they ever shut down.
No, it
officially,
just
right?
went to like 25 capacity.
Yeah, like really small. But it like I think by the time you would come here, I had only eaten out like a handful of times, like less than 10 probably.
Your situation's really unique though. Like you should talk about it. Like why you weren't eating out.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I have this pet cat. Her name's Liz, and she just gets really needy and doesn't let me leave the house.
Ever.
Ever.
Actually, I've seen her attack him when he leaves.
Yeah.
But no,
No.
you're just your whole family is like they're like locked down.
Yeah. So my sister, is basically like my mom figure, she kind of raised me when I was in high school. That's a whole story, but short story of it, my mom moved to California, and like my dad and her had split up a long time ago. So she had just raised me, single mom, and then she moved to California, but I wanted to stay, so I was basically like adopted by my brother and his wife. And so during the course of that, she ended up getting cancer, and so her immune system was compromised. She's cancer-free now. It has been for like I think her 10-year was
That's awesome.
was a little bit ago, and so we didn't want to. She's a high risk, basically, right? So we didn't want to expose ourselves to anything. So we were on like lockdown, and so I never ate. I pretty much didn't do anything. I just stopped and just streamed all day.
I wonder, like, was she iffy about me coming over sometimes?
Yeah, but I told
Yeah.
I prefaced you coming over by saying that you're basically like a no life like me. So then she was like, "Oh, I'm cool with that."
Nice.
Then I go to work every day with sweaty people.
Gross.
Whoa, what?
What you mean work at a gym, dog?
Oh yeah, right, all right.
But
Oh, we thought you meant the other one, the other job.
Your second job.
But one thing I want to talk about is you were talking about the numbers in New Mexico.
Yeah.
I still think there's a lot of like speculation of like the hospitals trying to increase their numbers so they get like, you know what I mean?
I definitely think that could be
Because
a thing.
there's so many, like I've heard so many stories, right? An elderly person dies just because they're old, right? And they mark it as COVID death and mark it on the numbers.
Well, okay, so I can shed some light on that a little bit. I have heard about that, and I was like, oh, that is kind of interesting. But Renee, my brother's wife,
Mhm.
she charts. That's what she does for a hospital.
Right.
And so she sees all the patients coming in and sees what their sees their symptoms, and she's the one that actually marks like cause of death.
Oh, really?
And so you wouldn't believe it, but like when someone dies, a lot of times they have different they've got like multiple reasons, but then there's like a primary, and that's the one that goes on the stats. So
Oh, okay, so like if you have like a 70-year-old person and they got COVID, and because of COVID, some other parts of their body started to not function as well, it might be listed as a COVID death, even though maybe they got over COVID, but because of the residual effects, they still passed away.
yeah.
So
I just don't think that they're basically one person can't count as two deaths. Like they're not going to be a cause of death of COVID and the elderly age or whatever. It's like it's one person.
Right.
So like I don't know. I really don't know. I mean,
I don't even. I mean, I'm hearing things. I'm just talking about it. But
yeah.
also, I've heard that they took like a blank Q-tip and they act like they tested somebody and they put it back, not even touching anybody, and it
Yeah.
came back positive.
Wait. What? Say that again? I'm
So-
So
confused.
you know how the Q-tips and they
Yeah,
test
put up
people,
at your
right?
nose. Yeah.
They didn't do anything with the Q-tip. They just sent in like a blank one and they came back positive.
You mean they put a sterile one in? Like one they didn't actually put in a person?
Yeah.
well, who
That's
was this
weird.
that did it?
I don't know. That's what I heard from like multiple people.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
not saying it's like 100%
Well-
true.
just something you had heard.
Yo,
Just in anything though, there can be like false positives, false
Oh,
negatives.
exactly, yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it falls in there.
it's hard to
It's a possibility.
the thing for me is like you look at like the way that like the medical field and everything is in other countries, and some places. I won't use Canada as an example because I've heard that like although a lot of healthcare is free in Canada, I do hear like really bad stuff about like the quality of healthcare. So like people are like, if we just moved to Canada, we'd have free healthcare, right?
Yeah.
But then like some people have told me, yeah, like our healthcare isn't bad, but then other people have said like, oh well, yeah, our healthcare is free, but you get what you pay for, and so they're like, our healthcare isn't the best because it's free, stuff like that, right? So I won't use them as an example, but other places, it's like healthcare is just more affordable, and in the United States, it's pretty expensive.
right.
And so at the end of the day, it makes you kind of think like, at the end of the day, they're making money. Like they're a business. So hospitals are definitely helping people. Doctors and nurses are saving people, but they are making money.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the United States, they are making a little bit more money, it seems, than
Yeah.
other countries. So I wouldn't necessarily say 100% that it isn't possible that they could adjust their numbers to get funding for
Exactly,
COVID
yeah.
and stuff. You know, like,
Oh, yeah,
well, if we
for
just
sure.
like
That's what I like.
if we just add like 500 onto this, then we just get more money. And I don't see that as people have done way shadier things for way less money. So
For sure.
I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that?
What?
The socks.
What?
Remember?
Oh,
What are you talking about?
my hover shoe
Yeah,
experience.
the shady thing that
Oh,
happened to him.
all right, you guys. We got story of the day incoming. This is actually
I
Listen.
thought you
wild.
already told your stream though.
Yeah, I've already. I mean,
I think
yeah,
it's
a
all
lot of them
too.
know, but
No, that doesn't matter. That's not the point.
So, all right.
set the tone. Paint a picture for us.
Listen. I already had a fascination with hover technology, right? I used to sell hoverboards. When they first came out, I knew they were going to be crazy, so I went ahead and made connections with a manufacturer in China, ordered a bunch. How old was I at this time?
You were probably 17.
I was like 17
16,
years
17.
old. I got a loan from a buddy of mine. I ordered $15,000 worth of hoverboards because I knew they were going to sell like hotcakes.
That's
so-
a big investment for a 17-year-old.
That's a big investment, but I knew what I was doing. Like I'm ambitious, right? I like to take risks, stuff like that. And so I bought them all. I did eventually sell them all, and I kept a couple for myself. They started catching on fire on the news. Not any of my products, but I didn't want to be liable, and I didn't
Oh, exactly.
Right.
know what to do with the law, like getting a lawyer and all that stuff. It sounded expensive, so I backed out. Fast forward to now, I don't have my hoverboard anymore. It broke. So I see this Facebook ad, and it's called Hover Shoes. It's new technology. It's like a hoverboard without the middle part. So you just like are on two pieces, and it looks like rollerblades, basically.
like add-ons for your shoes, kind of.
Yeah,
Right.
like you just stand right on top, and then you can kind of do your thing. And it was $140. So I was like, okay, sweet. That sounds like a really great deal. So I'm like, hey, Gary, you want to come with me? Marlene comes with us too. So it's like the three of us.
I was already kind of sketch, especially I don't really like meeting up with people on Facebook Marketplace or like Craigslist, especially for things that expensive.
Yeah,
like if it was
Gary
like
doesn't even
$20,
like to drive.
$30.
Yeah, Gary's kind
Like
we'll have to go into
when
that
Gary
another-
drives at night, he like he like asks us to be on speed dial like in case he needs us and stuff. Like he doesn't even like going out of the house at night. He's a little timid like that. But
That's a little bit wrong, but yeah, go ahead.
continue the story.
So we set up a place. We are meeting in a public place, all green lights, right? Like nothing suspicious. We roll up there. I noticed the part of town is a little bit like, I don't know. It's not the cleanest.
Sketch, you
It's how would you describe the setting?
Run down.
Old.
It's old. Yeah, you tell like they're not thriving, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
we go
But not
there.
the worst.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst. Like
Would you
I'm
live there?
okay with it. I mean,
Would you live in
I
that area?
still
There's not-
still would have ate at that White Castle.
Okay.
I would have. Yeah, it was a White Castle
Inside?
a parking lot.
Huh?
Inside?
Inside?
You
Yeah,
would
would you
have
have
eaten, you would
gone?
have eaten inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
All
it
right.
wasn't
All right,
bad.
so,
It
it was
start
just,
telling
it was
a
just
little
run down.
I mean,
little
for
bit.
a White Castle, it was pretty normal. I would
Right.
say.
bit. Okay.
Yeah. So I go in there, or we pull into the driveway, and I see this car. It's parked backwards, so I couldn't see the plate. And I to be honest, I didn't think of anything because it's a nice car. I back into cars in my car too. So it was this like newer model Charger. It was white, had like these custom rims, tinted windows. The window of the driver's seat's down. You can see the guy. He looks friendly. I mean, he's smiling at us, but he is tatted up all the way, including on his face. Okay.
So this guy's like decked out in tats.
Like full facial tats.
I mean, he had like the right here.
He had like a couple
Teardrops.
Gary almost didn't move in with us because I had tattoos. He's like, oh, I can't be hanging out with this guy.
So we get up there. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Sorry, I'm not wearing my mask because I totally forgot it, and he was wearing one. It was like, nah, it's all good. We fist bump, and then I'm like, all right, so I got the cash in hand. Where's the product? Can I see it? And he's like, points at the box. It's in the passenger seat. He's alone. It's just him. It's three of us. We're all at the window, and I noticed that it's like broken. Like it looks like it was opened.
Was ripped off.
Yeah, like one of the flaps was missing.
Yeah,
Or partially of it.
the box
I
definitely.
actually have it in the garage, but I'm not gonna grab it.
Don't touch it.
So
The box like looked like it had already been ripped open.
and so I'm like, all right, can I open it? Like, can I check it out? Whatever, blah blah blah. And he was like, nah, man, I don't f with that. Like, I don't. This is how I get my products, man. I get it all from Walmart. Like, I can get you whatever you want. Let me show you here. I got my phone right here. Let me see. Let me show you what it looked like or looks like or whatever. But I can't find it.
And he said, my daughter.
My daughter's got one too. I got one for my daughter. Look, this is her riding it right here. Shows me a picture. I was like, all right, I'm giving the guy benefit of the doubt. He also wouldn't like. His positioning was weird.
It was so weird.
And like he wouldn't want to get out of his car. Like he was, and his hand movements were kind of strange.
So just like red flags. Like,
Red flags for sure. But I also, shame on me, like I wasn't carrying that day because I was wearing shorts, like elastic waistband, and I couldn't like put my clip on, and I didn't want to change. I was just being lazy. I should have. But I went there and I went around to the other side because he was like, he didn't want to give it to me through the window, so he wanted me to go around to the passenger side and pick it up.
which is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just
So I walk
hand me it.
Just hand me it, right?
Yeah.
Through the window. So he does. I walk around and he gives me I pick up the box and it's heavy. So I'm like, okay. And I don't think anything else. I'm just like, benefit of the doubt, give him the cash. And he's like, hey, I got to go pick up my daughter. And he just drives off as soon as I like step away from the car. Like it was instant.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
Like
no.
instantly.
Yeah. So then I run over to the car, put it in the back, and start opening it up. And the moment I open it up, my heart just drops. I'm just like, it's like that music, you know, like, oh no, 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 no. And
You
Yeah.
open it
Yep.
it's like 3 tube socks
with
full of marbles.
with marbles.
That, and I wanna point out, the socks didn't even look clean.
No, they were.
No, they
dirty.
looked
They
used.
were dirty for sure.
Yeah.
And they're definitely his daughter's socks
It was like the
They're
salt. It was
pink.
like the salt in the wound.
with unicorns on it.
It was like, wow, I got ripped off, and these socks are dirty.
Yeah.
Like
Unusable.
Are you
I was
fucking kidding me?
like when I saw that, I was laughing, but I was like shit. I was like
Bro,
laughing I don't know why, but it was funny to me.
No,
you were
it-
laughing.
I was.
Oh,
It's still fun. It's
was
funny.
heartbroken.
Like it's a terrible situation, but you can't help but kind of like laugh at it. Like,
Right, because there's
wow,
nothing you could do.
wow,
after
you
that.
can't make this up. Like, look at these dirty ass socks
And
full
then,
of
he,
marbles.
and then he blocked you instantly. On
he blocked
Facebook.
me on the messenger, everything. You know what? And okay, there's still more to this story too. So, and in hindsight, Gary brought up a good point. I was like, man, I really should just walked around, like turned back. And then he was like, well, to be honest, he probably wouldn't have let us go. He probably would have like stolen our money. He probably would have
Because
pulled
he
out
was
a
stuck on
gun.
that door.
He was stuck on the door. Like I think he had a gun ready. And so, days go on. I talked to one of my friends, tell him the story. He's still a cop. I'm like, hey, you think you could help me look up this guy? I end up he gets his first name, his last name. We know where he lives. We can get his everything.
yeah,
Literally
remember we got a social too.
like we've got all of his information. I wrote this out on a Word document. I called the cops. And they haven't shown up still. It's been like 5 days.
I totally forgot about
What?
that.
It's been way more.
It's
than
been
5
longer than
days.
that.
It's been way longer.
It's been like over a week now.
I came home and he goes, "Yeah, the cops are coming." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Just to
And
file
they
a
still haven't
report.
come.
Bro, it's like
One eternity later.
I would, dude. If I were still working as a police officer and I got a report like this, it's the easiest slam dunk arrest. Period. You got enough probable cause. Like all of his information is there. You just write it up and you get an arrest stat. Like I don't
Is it
understand
common for cops to not want to do something because they don't want to do paperwork?
that. I mean, it is common. I mean, I would have written it out. I would have written out the narrative, done the PC. Like everything.
I'll do
I
the
would've done.
police
I'll do it
report
for
for
you.
you.
Let's just get a warrant out for this guy. I look up the dude's my case, like his history. That's what it's called in Indiana, and you can see every like stopping like if you given a ticket, if you went to jail.
So was he a bad guy?
Yes,
I was just wondering. I don't want to.
several. I don't. Yeah, we're not gonna disclose his name or
Yeah.
anything. Several arrests, several drug charges, felonies with a weapon, a gun.
Oh my.
Like I mean, like you
I
knew.
seriously think
Right.
that day we took the easy route.
I think we did. It was $140, but like, hey, we're alive and we're safe. So
Right.
That's
I'm
crazy.
gonna get this guy though. Just wait for a
Yeah,
follow up.
well, part 2 will happen, guys. It will happen. That's crazy, man. Like,
know.
and it's like in the moment or like afterwards, you're like, man, we could have done A, B, or C, right? But in reality, it's like, do you want to get hurt over some?
$150.
Yeah, $150.
Yeah.
Because like clearly that guy doesn't have anything going for him, so he's clearly capable of just continuously making the wrong decision until eventually he's going to make the last wrong decision. But do
Yeah.
you want to be the last wrong decision before he gets caught? Like,
Just doing God's work out here, bro. If he needed that money that badly, you know, it's just a charity.
It's
donation.
funny because you said it like 10 minutes after that.
Yeah, I
like
did.
10 minutes, you're like, I'm just giving it to charity right now. He needs it.
yeah. So it's like you can tell that he needs it more than you do. Like
Exactly.
it's just he's eventually somebody's gonna. He's gonna mess with the wrong person. He's gonna
Oh,
get.
for
He's gonna
sure,
get.
yeah.
Somebody's gonna get an ad. He's gonna try and rip off the wrong person, and then he's gonna be on the other end, and it's gonna be bad. It's just and then he just left immediately, so you know it was sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side of that is actually a good experience with Marketplace with all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so we moved here and we talked about wanting to do more content and do something more than live streaming. So we talked about doing the podcast and everything. And so it was almost, I feel like it was almost like destiny, right? Because it's like you think about this setup. Okay, you've got this big ass table. You got 5 Shure SM7B studio microphones with the arms, the headphones, and all this audio gear, right? But then it's like,
Don't forget the chairs.
and then the chairs, 5 Herman Miller chairs, right? So there are a couple different models. They're not brand new, but they're not bad at all. They're not bad at all. But you think about all this gear, and it's like, who's getting on Facebook Marketplace looking specifically for this, right? And so we're looking for a table to do this whole like YouTube and podcast and everything, and then we come across this ad for this guy who's selling this setup for like comparatively like dirt cheap. Like it was it's still a kind of a bit of money, but for the amount that all of this gear would cost if you bought it, He was like basically selling like half price or something.
He said that he had purchased everything for $9,000.
And we got it for 26.
We got it for 16. But right, I think
No, 26.
was it 26?
26.
Yeah.
13 each.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Because we put it up. Yeah. So 2,600 for like 9K. The table is like solid.
It's solid.
It is a this is a solid table.
Yeah.
So we ended up picking up all this gear, and it was just like fate, right? It was like, man, would really like to start like a podcast, do like YouTube content, and do some group stuff. And then the streaming gods were like, oh, here's
Right.
exactly everything that you need, and it was literally everything: the cables, the mixer, everything. And it's just like, if we don't snatch this up, we're kind of
yeah.
And it's like perfect because we set aside this room for something like that. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like perfect in here too.
Yeah, it's perfect. And if you are tuning in watching like the video version of this, then you'll notice it's kind of bland and stuff on the walls and everything. We're in the process of getting it all decked out and looking good and stuff. So you'll get to see the progression as we start here versus in later episodes when we've got it looking crispy and we've got all of our stuff figured out and everything. So, but honestly, like I think for first time on and stuff, like everything, we had way less hiccups than we could have.
True. We did have a little bit of hiccup, but I mean,
We had a little,
We got
yeah.
to figure it out. You guys got to figure it out, as you said.
For sure.
So in gaming news, Ludwig is still live.
Is he still live?
He's about to hit 200,000 subs.
That's insane.
Guys, I don't know if you know who Ludwig is, but he is a partner on Twitch. He's a big YouTuber. He decided to do the subathon uncapped. And how many subs is it for the time?
The way the way he's doing it is every time he gets a sub, he adds 10 seconds to the timer, and he streams until it runs out. And
I think I saw like the tier list of how many subs like on Twitch, like the top ones, and next closest one after 2K is like
it's gotta
80,
be Nick.
80. No, it's like 80. I think it's I don't know who it is. Maybe XQC. Maybe.
Oh, XQC would actually
Wait.
make sense.
Wait, what? The second place is at 80K subs?
And he's about to hit 200. He probably hit
He's at
200K.
200,000 subs.
That's insane.
He's like over double.
Yeah, but yeah, okay.
Second
So
place.
here's like some weird facts about it, right? So because of this subathon, he had to make sure that he had like a team in place. So his mods and like he has like this giant team of like people that are basically making sure that when he's not on, they're able to constantly like manage it. They can edit his stream, his sources, everything. Like they can run the stream while he's asleep, right?
Yeah.
So he's like paying them more than like full-time jobs each.
Wow.
That's insane.
They're all like getting paid. So like he's I think you take all the money that he's making, and I think like 40% of it or 50% of it is going to all of his team.
That's insane.
And they're like managing.
That's awesome.
That is
everything.
really cool.
It's insane. And then 10 seconds for every sub. He's about to hit like 200K. I think he capped it though, and he said that he's not going to stream more than 31 days. I think he said that. I'm not for sure.
What's the record?
Him
He
right
has
now?
it?
Yeah, I think it has to be him right now. I don't think anybody's streamed longer. He started on the 14th of March.
The 14th of March, and it's the 7th of April. He has 38,000 people watching, and with his current sub count, if it's $2.50 for him for each sub, he's making $500,000 a month at this rate, just in subs alone.
You think he'll take a break when he's done?
Oh, at least 2
If he
weeks.
doesn't take a break,
At least 2 weeks.
that guy's gonna need a psychiatrist.
So I saw a video about him where he's talking. I think it was before the subathon. It might have even been during the subathon. He's looking at like Soli Gnome, which lets you like kind of look at stats and stuff about Twitch and the games that are streaming and stuff. And you can also look at streamers and look at their stats. And he was like, XQC is a machine. Like I don't know how this guy is like consistently doing this, but like for the last 3 months, at the time of him checking, he had checked the last 3 months, and XQC had consistently streamed no less than 80 hours a week
What?
for
That-
3 months in a row.
That's too much.
He was like, think about like you go to your full-time job to make a living, you work 40 hours a week, and then in your off time you're like you're doing what you love or your hobbies or whatever, but that's a pretty stacked week, right? 40 hours of work plus whatever else you want to do. And this man is doing twice as much. And he's just, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I definitely couldn't do that.
No.
80 hours.
I mean, okay, but if you made the amount of money that he makes by doing 80 hours a week, I think you probably would change your mind.
I mean, I'd be chugging along, but
You'd be what?
chugging along if I had to.
Maybe you had to. It's kind of like a bittersweet, right? It's like you're streaming 80 hours, but like, man, like at a certain point, like,
I mean,
if you're playing Warzone for 80 hours a
I
week,
couldn't do
it
Warzone.
could-
I couldn't do Warzone.
He-
I'd
he
rip my hair
streams
out of
like-
my.
He does stream a lot of different shit.
wait, I mean, even just watching YouTube, he does that.
Yeah.
He does like react videos.
Yeah.
So I guess like part of his streaming is like him hanging out,
Right.
but still
Just
like
chatting.
80 hours, like that's crazy. Like that's an insane amount of time. And then over 3 months, like, oh man, yeah, he did something. He looked at like just 2 random back-to-back weeks, and it was like 210 hours in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Jeez.
Yeah, nuts. But I was gonna ask you actually. You talked about it earlier. Like full time streaming, is that like something you want to do? Like,
for sure,
where you
yeah.
want to go?
Oh yeah.
So, like if you were to like sit down and look at it on paper, right? Because I know that this was a tough scenario for Stealth and I, and it's like, if I ask you, at what point are you comfortable quitting your job, right? Because the easy answer
Right.
here is going to be like, enough to pay my bills, right? That's
Right,
that's
yeah,
the go-to.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what you're going to say, right? No,
Yeah.
but instead of that, it's like the number of like the sub count for how many months in a row. Like how many months in a row would you have to get what number of subs for you to say at the end of that, like whatever that last month is, for you to be like, my 2-week notice is in.
Like a sub count, just like, bro, it had to be. I mean, that's just something I gotta like. You gotta take into taxes. You gotta take into everything, really.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
definitely hard.
It's something that I want you like that I kind of like wanted to put into your head,
Right.
because whenever I quit my job and whenever Stealth quit, like because you were still doing like part and part, right, at one point, right? Or were you?
Yeah, so I had streamed like a year and a half prior to me quitting my job. I streamed a year and a half, and then I decided to do it full time.
Yeah, and so at that time when you go to like quit, it's still scary, right?
Oh yeah,
Because nothing's set in stone.
nothing's set in stone. Like that's just how it is for
Oh,
even
yeah.
the big guys.
For sure, yeah.
I mean,
I mean, once you go into contracts and other stuff like that, but
well, like anyone can get canceled. It's the internet. So
Yeah.
like one wrong mistake could
True.
ruin your career.
especially the culture nowadays. But
So if without overthinking it, like a simple number,
a simple number,
if for the next 3 months you had that many subs, 3 months in a row, you would quit.
800.
800 subs.
That was more than what I had when I quit.
Yeah, that's more subs than I have right now.
Yep. I mean,
You would need 800.
yeah, because you 1,600 a month, a little bit more than that, right?
Okay.
And you take into taxes, and then you take in stuff that you want to do by yourself off that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not just gonna sit at home and eat
Yeah.
ramen, right?
Right.
It's just I don't know, just makes sense in my head for right now, just like easy answer.
So okay, yeah, that was the easy answer.
Well, wait, is it $1,600 a month
Well,
total from all revenue sources?
No,
so
for just
subs.
off of subs.
So
That's
you,
what-
so you would need a minimum of 1,600 just in subs.
I mean, yeah, I guess I didn't take into account the like bits and everything like that and donos, but
Bits, donos, ad
it's
revenue.
just something I get like. I think it's more in the depth kind of like thing. You just gotta know.
It's tough, right? But
Yeah.
it's a question I wanted to ask you because like whenever I quit, we had done pretty good for like 3 months,
Mhm.
and then I was hating my job. Like
Yeah.
I was in a situation where it was like every day I was just dreading having to go to work and then being tired when I come home, but I have to stream because it's trying to grow. And so I would come home, sometimes low energy, sometimes okay energy, but then streaming until like the last possible moment that I could.
Right.
Get off, go to bed, get up the next morning, go to the gym, do it again. And it was just awful.
See,
And so
that's why I like my schedule right now. So I get up, go to the gym, come home. I still have energy for stream, and I go to work. And
Yep.
come home, go to sleep, repeat.
yeah, yours I like I wish that mine could have been like that. I think it would have been better because
Oh,
after the drive and everything, you're looking at like 9.5 hours, and then I go live.
Mhm.
And at that time, I don't like I want to be live, but like my body doesn't want to be live, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so, whenever we like, I remember I went on vacation, right? I've been saving all my vacation time. So I went on vacation for like 2.5 weeks straight. I put in all my vacation time, and I came back and I was like, all right, streaming full time for this vacation. I'm getting paid the whole time. Like, let's make a push and let's see how well we can do,
All right.
and we'll go from there. And so I was doing it, and at the end of the 2 weeks or whatever, we were in a pretty good place, and it had already been several months of being in a good place. And I had to make some sacrifices in order to do it. But
I think I
quit.
heard you talking about this before. You on another podcast, actually.
Oh, maybe actually, when I did my it's like your save file. I think maybe if it was that one, I did the save file with Gold Lion, and then
Yeah.
that was it,
one,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like had to sell my car, and I didn't have transportation. I had to walk everywhere
Mm-hmm.
to be able to afford to do it, but I did it, and
Yeah.
so I'm so happy I did. It was like the biggest risk.
Oh,
So
for sure.
like for you,
That's
you
a
know,
huge risk.
eventually you're going to be at a point where you're going to have to like make that leap. Just don't like when you feel like it's right, do it, but don't be afraid, because
Mm-hmm.
even now, I'm sure for you, like there's still months where you're like man, like you know, like it's like
Yeah.
like some months you you do
What?
well,
I don't know. You seemed like you.
and other months you don't do
What?
as well.
You
you
just
know?
like kind of sarcastic. It seemed like, but
No, what? No, for sure. Just being like super transparent. Like, I took a hit for sure. Like, but I knew that going into full time streaming, like, it was just such a unique opportunity with, it was shortly after getting rated by Ninja, like back to back. It was like twice.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and I had this growth that I was experiencing on Mixer, and the community was like super lit.
Rest in peace, Mixer.
Rest in peace, Mixer.
It's been 9 months now.
Has it been that
9?
long?
9 months. Think about that. Almost a year already since Mixer is gone.
Wow.
I have people popping 10-month resubs.
Yeah.
same actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, huh?
And so, and another thing that you should consider too, but it kind of comes down to personality types.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I couldn't live with myself knowing what
you
if.
didn't
Knowing
try
what
it.
if.
Right.
Think about that. Like, you only have one life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 27. You're still super young.
Oh yeah.
It's not like the job that you have. And again, no pressure at all. Like, at all.
No, I agree.
Because you still owe us rent, when it's due. But
Exactly. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you still owe that. So like, if you're like, but I'm seeking out my dreams. I was like,
Yo,
nice.
that's-
Well, do your dreams have money? Because they need.
that
to.
ain't gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. And it, a good thing to mention is like, you see, people always got excuses, and all of their excuses always sound good to them, right? This is not to you. This is on a different subject, but with the ninja thing, right? You see a lot of people are like, yeah, like, I'm just not growing, and then there's all these things that they're not doing, right? But then they're like, I'm not growing, and like, this guy's only growing because he got rated by a big streamer. He got rated and then he blew up. That's what happened. But like, it doesn't work like that. Like, cause like we've both been rated multiple times by Ninja, and like those people come in, they support you for that day.
Mhm.
They will show mad love for that day, right? They come in, they blow you up. They're dropping donos and bits and subs, and they're hanging out. They're chill. But at the end of the day, the reason they're there is because their person, in this instance, is Ninja. Ninja was like, "Yo, go show support to these guys. They're awesome." Comes over, raids. They come over. They do what their guy said to do. They come over, they support. But the next day, when they wake up, they're like, "I'm gonna go hang out with Ninja." Not
I'm
like
gonna hang out
I'm
with my
going to
boy.
hang out with
Right.
Stealth or Lucky, like or Gary or this person or that person. Like, I'm going back to my streamer where I was before. So like, they just think that like you're just gonna pop off as soon as you get rated by one big streamer, but it doesn't. It's like a marathon, not a sprint.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because we both had. I think at one point I've had on Twitch since we switched, I had 20,000 viewers at one point for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's not like it just stuck.
It meant nothing, honestly.
It doesn't really.
Yeah.
it only translates into something when it's consistent. Like,
Yeah.
there's a big streamer, Jobless Garrett. He's on a contract with Twitch where he like streams a certain amount of hours, but he was telling me like he's so busy in his day-to-day life, and because he's a big YouTuber,
Right.
that he only streams the amount of hours that are like contractually obligated to stream, and not even 1 hour extra every month. He streams like I think it's like 20 or like 16 hours a week or something, and he's like, that's all the time I have. Like, I can't even put more time in because he releases like 5 YouTube videos a week or something.
Yeah.
and then he adds it to where he gets on the front page like every week for like one day. So like that, if you ever lock up something like that, you'll absolutely see growth because you're going to I think you ever heard that thing, somebody has to see your brand X amount of times before they actually click on it?
Oh no.
I think that sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah, it's like on average, like I don't know what the number is. It might be like 3 to 5 or something. But most people will not click on it until they've seen it like the 3rd or 5th time or something, and then they're like, "What is this?" And they click on it.
Right.
And it's like if you got on the front page, like consistently, then maybe it matters. But yeah, it just doesn't just translate. It's kind of interesting.
Yep.
I don't know, but we are actually out of time.
We are.
Oh, it is 59 minutes.
Yeah.
It actually flew by. It was easy.
Okay.
It was nice. But
Wow.
you guys, this was episode number 1. Thank you guys for everybody who tuned in live and hung out with us. This is going to be going up. If you missed part of the show or you tuned in at the end, you will be able to catch this on YouTube. And then we're also going to, I think we're going to figure out how to get the audio version uploaded to Spotify and everything.
And iTunes.
But
for all you Apple guys.
Yep, and iTunes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So something that I do want to touch on, we're going to go over a little bit, but the plan here is to be doing this every Wednesday. So if you want to catch it live, you'll be able to catch us
At what, like 10?
like 10 a.m.
10,
Eastern,
11?
right? We want to shoot for 10 a.m. Eastern on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I think going forward, we were a little bit late today. Just got some hiccups and stuff. But
Yep.
every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. The same time we all go live,
Yep.
just on Wednesdays.
Yep. So
For 1 hour.
For 1 hour. If we run over, if something's like real hot and we're talking about it, we will run over a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is the day we got like other stuff to get done. You can follow us all on Twitter, which will be in the description of the video, and check out our individual streams. Again, we're each live on Twitch, Facebook, everything. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. And I think that if it works out the way we want it to, this channel will also have one other stream each week where we are gonna play with the idea of maybe streaming a game. We talked about it a little bit. We'll see if we can make it happen. But we may we have a kind of a long-term board game that we are gonna play.
It's insane.
Yeah, it actually is, and we might stream it, and if we continue to enjoy it, we might make that into another series.
For sure.
So, but yeah, everybody, thank you for listening. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys in the next one. All right.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for continuing to support each and every one of us to keep the stream alive. We appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you guys.
For
Peace.
sure.
Have a great day, guys.
See ya.
Later.